reflecting on how older adults still seek guidance, purpose, and deeper understanding as they age. The Garden of Wisdom, a story about growing old and still learning. At 78, Mrs. Eunice was known in her neighborhood as the Wise One. People came to her for advice about marriage, parenting, even cooking, and she always had a gentle answer or an old story to share. With her snow-white hair neatly pinned and her floral apron always dusted with flour, she looked every bit the classic grandmother figure. But what no one knew was that Mrs. Eunice herself had started feeling lost. Her children were grown and lived far away. Her husband had passed 5 years ago. Though she smiled warmly and waved at neighbors from her porch, a quiet restlessness had taken root in her heart. She often wondered, what now? Is this all that's left? One afternoon, as she sat in her garden pulling weeds from the roses, her young neighbor Leo came over with a school project. "I have to interview someone wise," he said, notebook in hand. Mrs. Eunice chuckled. "Well, I suppose I qualify by age." As Leo asked his questions, "What's the secret to happiness? How do you deal with failure?" Eunice gave thoughtful answers. But one question caught her off guard. "Do wise people ever stop learning?" She paused. "No," she finally said. "Actually, the older I get, the more I realize how much I still need to learn." Leo looked surprised. "Like what?" Eunice leaned back, looking up at the sky. "How to let go. How to live without the people I love. How to find joy again. Even how to accept that it's okay to not have all the answers." In that moment, Eunice felt something shift. For so long, she thought aging meant having everything figured out. But maybe growing old was less about having all the answers, and more about asking better questions. The next week, she signed up for an online book club for seniors and even started journaling. She began listening more, not just to give advice, but to understand others' perspectives. She reached out to other elderly women in the community, starting a small group where they could talk not about the past, but about the present, their fears, hopes, and what they still wanted to learn. It turned out she wasn't alone. Many older adults felt the same, expected to be the wise elders, yet still quietly searching for meaning, still hungry for growth. Wisdom, she discovered, wasn't just something you had. It was something you kept reaching for. And every time she opened her mind or her heart to a new book, a new friendship, or a new truth,